Good morning, everyone. I hope this video finds everyone doing well and staying healthy. Today, we're going to take our study of absolute values and we're going to move it up a notch. We're going to move on to absolute value. Oops, looks like I spelled value wrong. And we're going to add inequalities to it. So here we are. We know as soon as you see the absolute value signs that it has to be a split problem. That means there's going to be two answers, but you'll notice now that we're dealing with these inequalities. This is a less than or equal to sign here. So in order to sign absolute value inequalities, we do the same that we were doing for inequalities. We start by, in this case, multiplying by 9, and we get absolute value of 9v minus 10 is less than or equal to 45. Okay, and now there is nothing left we can do outside the absolute value signs. We cannot simplify the inside of the absolute value signs. So this is where we split the problem. And the first half of our problem is going to be just like it reads. 9v minus 10 is less than or equal to 45. Okay, and then when we split it, we also have the other side. So it's 9v minus 10, and I'm going to put negative 45 over here. But here's where I want to stop a second and emphasize that when you write the first split, it's got to be, okay, the signs are exactly the same. When you do the second and you go from that positive 45 to the negative 45, you have to flip the sign. So here we have the less than sign just like it was. And here we have the greater than sign. We flipped it. Now you solve it just like you would before. Plus 10, plus 10. 9v is less than or equal to 55. Divide by 9. V is less than or equal to 55 over 9, since that doesn't go in evenly. And that's about 6 1/9. Okay, same thing over here. We add 10 to both sides, and we get 9v is greater than or equal to negative 35. We divide by 9. Notice no flipping of the sign when we're dividing here because we have no negatives. Negative 35 over 9, which is about negative, let's say, 4, 3, and 8/9. Okay, so now we have to go up and graph it. So we go to 6/9. We do the best we can approximately. So I'm going to put in here 6 1/9 is going to be a closed circle. And then I'm just going to write in the value above it so we know exactly what we have. 55 over 9. And then we have negative 3 and negative 3 8/9. So that's going to be down here somewhere. So we're going to do another closed circle. And I label it negative 35 over 9. And then v has to be less than this number. So that means it's everything here on this side, less than. This one had v is greater than this. So it's everything over here. So I am going to shade everything in between. So there's my final answer. Everything, two closed dots, and everything shaded in between. Okay, now I'm going to redo this problem over here, negative 6 absolute value. We're going to do one more just to walk you through it again. A little bit bigger, plus 4, forgot the plus 4, negative 14. So there's our start point. Okay, here again, we're going to remove everything from the outside of the absolute value signs before we split. So we're going to start by subtracting 4 from both sides. Negative 6, absolute value of 9 minus 4x, absolute value less than negative 18. Next, we're going to divide by negative 6, divide by negative 6, absolute value of 9 minus 4x. Remember, dividing by a negative number means flipping the sign. So we flip the sign here, and that becomes positive 3. Now, split the problem. Nothing left to do outside. Cannot simplify anything inside. So I get 9 minus 4x is less than 3. 9 minus 4x is greater than negative 3. Okay, remember, first one stays exactly the same. 9 minus 4x less than 3. The second one, when we split it, 9 minus 4x is greater than negative 3. Flip that sign. Subtract 9 minus 9. Negative 4x is less than negative 6. Divide by negative 4. Divide by negative 4. And look at that. We're going to have to flip the sign again. Okay, because we are dividing by a negative number. So you have to flip that sign. So then we simplify this fraction. It becomes 3 halves. Negative divided by a negative. And both 6 and 4 are divisible by 2. Same thing with our split. Minus 9 minus 9. Negative 4x is greater than negative 12. Divide by negative 4. Divide by negative 4. X is, again, less than, got to flip that sign, positive 3 when we simplify our fraction. Okay? So, now we're going to graph. We've got x is greater than 3 halves. That's about the same as 1 and 1/2. Not about, it is exactly the same as 1 and 1/2. So I'm going to put an open circle at about, 1 and 1/2, and I'm going to label it 3 halves because that's where it is. And then we have an open circle at positive 3, so that's this one over here. Okay? X has to be greater than 3 halves, which means that it's going to be everything to the right of 3 halves, less than 3, so it's going to be everything in the middle. Now, just so you know, not all of these problems will be done in such a way that you have everything in between shaded. Sometimes the shading could be out and the center will be left. It's just how you read the problem when you get down here. Okay, so hopefully you found this video helpful, and if you have any questions, check into the office hour or send me an email. All right,